But it's then if you don't. I didn't really feel like driving all the way to Clawson today either. I'd pick up in a trailer.
Okay.
Daylight, as John Wayne would say.
I'd like to call to order the Human Services Committee meeting. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have the clerk take the roll, please?
Commissioner McConnell,
Present.
Commissioner Baldwin, Commissioner Bohm,
Here.
Commissioner Dunn,
Here.
Commissioner Rushing,
Here.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch,
Here.
Commissioner Beeden.
Present. Any changes, additions, or deletions to the agenda?
I'll make
Make
a
a mo-
motion
go ahead.
to approve as presented.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We have one citizen wishing to be heard tonight, Steve Samasco.
Thank you for putting me on the first agenda. Appreciate the opportunity to speak to the board. I'm used to giving advice to people, and it's hard to stop sometimes, and I don't want to give you unsolicited advice, but earlier in the week, I sent each of you a cover letter and a document that I had put together and titled it ARPA Planning Process Proposal. And how that came about was, as a candidate, you get a lot of questions, and if a former commissioner, a lot of people think you really know a lot about everything that goes on with the county at all times. I'm not telling you guys anything. So I was getting questions about it. Where is it? What is it? How is it being spent? Who's got it? Et cetera, et cetera. And I didn't know a lot about it, but I checked the treasury regs and I Google things, and I like to study things. Well, I came across in other counties in the country, this is a countywide phenomenon. Everybody got money, tons of money. They turned on a printing press, whether they had it or not. They printed money and sent it to everybody. So we all have this money. There was another county in another state that used a process like this, a 3-point process to manage how they're gonna review these funds and send them out. The board can do it ad hoc, the board can do it piecemeal, but what I liked about what I proposed to you folks to look at was there was a information gathering section that required public comment, openness, education, like I suggested a 60-day period, then a process of prioritizing, how we're gonna prioritize, because there's a list of not a total list, but a list of all these different suggested areas that different parts of the country use this money for. And it's really, you can use it for almost anything you want. And there's nowhere near enough money to cover the request that the board's gonna get eventually. And I talked to 2 or 3 commissioners, I talked to Jeff, I talked to Dave, I talked to Greg about what had happened so far. And I don't believe there's a policy in place as such, but the money's being held in a separate account. Carrie Heptig, the controller, sent me a nice, administrator, sent me a nice response to an email, because I sent her a copy. And there are a lot of things being done in a very good manner to protect the money and then eventually find a way to commit it. Georgia Baldwin had a document she produced for submission to townships and others, service agencies, on how to propose a project. So what I'm suggesting here is that you adopt an open policy. I think we have a duty to inform the public. There's certainly, the public deserves to have an opportunity to participate, and then in an open, fair way, decide how to do this, because if you don't, what's gonna happen, and if I'm on the board or not come January, I'd like to have this behind me so that you showed that you did the due diligence, and then you can justify and explain, what you've done, with the funds and how you got there. So the comment period, I think, is very important.
You got your 3 minutes, unless Lisa gives you some leeway here.
I was gonna use a few minutes to say some nice things about Dave Rushing, but I'll skip that part. You set your priorities. The other piece of it, as far as I'm concerned, I think that if it makes for good service to yourself and the public, you make your job easier, you're going to be better understood by the public, and the decisions you make, I think, are more likely to be supported. So, I would ask, I sent you a cover letter, I sent you the document, take a look at it. If anyone in the audience wants a copy or someone doesn't have a copy, I'd be glad to give it to you.
Okay, wrap it up, Steve.
Pardon me?
Wrap it up, please.
What happens if I don't? I'm just kidding. I'm gonna wrap up. So to quote Forrest Gump, that's all I have to say about that. How's that?
Steve, I did not receive your email, so if you could send that to me, I would appreciate it.
I've got an extra copy right here. I'll just.
All right. So Carrie said she'll forward me the electronic copy.
Pardon me?
Carrie will forward me the electronic copy.
I'll give you another copy.
Okay. All right, thank you. Yep. Any other citizens wishing to be heard? Seeing none. Updates. We have an update from,
If I could, Lisa, from the last meeting, we got questions in regards to syringes. I talked to Liz, and she has kind of a quick thing here. I'm asking her to give us a rundown on the syringe use in St. Clair County, and she's working on it, but I wanted to give her a more expert.
thank you. I was going to introduce her.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead, Liz.
Who runs this meeting?
I was wondering, share meeting or Dave's?
Thank you. Yeah. Mr. Rushing kind of sidetracked me as I was coming in for other reasons, but that's okay. I'm happy to answer the questions. We are aware because they've been at our board meetings as well with questions about syringes. We know that syringe service program is controversial at best, for sure. And I think what's come up and what you asked me to address was the discrepancy between the number of needles that are being returned versus those that are being put out into the community. So there's some answers to that. We are looking at it further, definitely. It's important. It's important for public to know. The program has been in place for a couple years now, so we think as time goes on, this is to be expected, right? And something new we have to deal with. But what I will say is that every person that comes in through our program is counseled on safe disposal and given a sharps container. So even if you can't use the sharps container, or maybe it's too small for what you have, or you don't bring it back, we educate people on how to put them into something that's in the household that you could use to dispose of, such as an old laundry soap container, an old milk jug, something like that. So we do counsel everybody who comes in. So it doesn't mean that the syringes are out in the community. They are. Are they unsafe? We don't know. I do try and get that information when I'm at meetings. Has law enforcement seen needles out and about? We do know that there was recently a report, I think through social media, of some syringes. We very quickly responded to that. Someone from our substance use committee contacted me, and we were in the process of sending someone out to SC4 to get those syringes, and SC4 had actually sent individuals out to pick them up. So we want to know about it, if people are seeing it, where they're seeing it, and we're implementing a process. We're working through that, how that will work to actually clean up what's there.
Any other questions for Liz?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other updates from the commissioners? Any conceptual initiatives? Seeing no old business, moving on to new. The health department training, staff training date. They're asking for a day off for training.
I'd move this be sent to the full board.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B, Marysville Public School District Nursing Agreement.
Make a motion, send full board.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item C, MSU Extension Contract Amendment.
I'd make a motion to send to full board.
Thanks.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Are there any other human services matters to be brought up this evening? Hearing none. Item 9, information only. We all received our August Health Department points of interest.
Make a motion to receive and file.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'll accept a motion to receive and file packets.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion
Motion
to
carries.
adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. I don't have the gavel.
Oh, sorry about that. That's my fault.
Oh, it's okay.
I would like to open up the Judiciary and Public Safety Committee meeting. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Baldwin, Commissioner Beeden,
Present.
Commissioner Bohm,
Here.
Commissioner Dunn,
Here.
Commissioner Rushing,
Here.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch,
Here.
Commissioner McConnell.
Here, thank you. Seeing no additions, if we could get a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any citizens to be heard? Seeing none, do we have any updates?
Yes, I got one on weather sirens. 50% of them are here in state right now getting prepped to get installed. And per the emergency management should be within a couple more weeks and we'll have them all in and they're a preset basis. So all they actually have to do is drill the hole, set the footing and siren and pole at one time, and then they do the electrical drop for it. So it shouldn't be too much longer.
Good.
And actually would have went off just the other day with that tornado going through from New Baltimore to Richmond. Would have been the area just east of that, west of that. So.
Good, all right, thank you. Does anybody else have anything? Any conceptual initiatives?
None this evening.
We have no old business. Under new business, item 7A, fiscal year 2023 Emergency Management Program Grant Work Agreement.
Make a motion to move to full board.
Support.
Does anyone have any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 7B, the County Emergency Management Plan Update for 2022. This is just a working order showing where we're at and what we've got going on to send to the state. And very, very few changes from the original plan.
I'd make the motion to send it to the full board.
Support.
If there's no questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The fiscal year 2023 traffic enforcement grant application in the amount of $50,890.
Move to send it to full board.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Any other judiciary public safety matters? Motion to receive and file packets.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to
Opposed?
adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, thank you.
Are you walking that
adjourn.
over to me tonight?
I didn't put it out. Oh.
Good evening. I'd like to call the St. Clair County Board of Commissioners Environmental Public Works Committee to order. Could I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner McConnell,
Here.
Commissioner Baldwin, Commissioner Beeden,
Present.
Commissioner Bohm,
Here.
Commissioner Rushing,
Here.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch,
Here.
Commissioner Dunn.
Here. Item number 2, additions, deletions, changes to the agenda. Could I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Support.
Any questions on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Are there any citizens to be heard this evening from the Environmental Public Works Committee? Seeing none. Any updates from commissioners? Seeing none. Any conceptual initiatives? Seeing none. No old business. New business, we have one item, the Metropolitan Planning Commission appointment, Katie Steep for a 3-year term.
I'll make a motion to move to full board.
Support.
Are there any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Smiths Creek Landfill Activities Report.
Motion to receive and file.
Support.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any other environmental public works matters?
You know, Duke, we got an email today from Sherry Faust about September 24th, the state game area. They're having an open house, if you will, to try to get some awareness of what's available in the state game area. And I guess I see, it's on M21, right on Lapeer, their office, the DNR's office. I've never been there. I think I drive by it.
It's a small building. It looks like their office. I don't know if that's.
But that's where they're gonna have, from 9 to 3, they're gonna have representatives there, and then they're gonna be taking people back and forth, either giving them rides or go on hikes, and just to maybe show them the boundaries and what's available. It's pretty big area.
Great, thanks, Greg. Any other environmental public works matters? Information only, the monthly Parks and Recs financial documents and public scope meeting dates announced for the Enbridge Line 5 tunnel.
Motion to receive and file?
Support.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 11, receive and file.
Motion to receive and file.
Support.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 12, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Want to call the Ways and Means Committee to order. Roll call, please.
Commissioner McConnell,
Present.
Commissioner Baldwin, Commissioner Beeden,
Here?
Commissioner Bohm,
Here.
Commissioner Dunn,
Here.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch,
Here.
Commissioner Rushing.
Here. Additions, deletions, changes to the agenda. I see we have 2 items. Can I have a motion to have those added to the,
I would make a motion to do 2A to 7J and 2B to 7K.
Support.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Can I have a motion to accept the amended agenda?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any citizens to be heard? We have none. Any updates? Conceptual initiatives? None. Old business? New business? We'll go to 7A, Health Department Manning Table Edition, a data manager.
Make a motion to move to full board?
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7B, Commissioner Beeden, District 3, American Rescue Plan Project, Visiting Nurse Association and Blue Water Hospice, Fiber Line.
I'll make a motion to move to full board?
Support.
Has this already been discussed? Do you want to give us a rundown, or?
Sure. So it's actually for Blue Water Hospice to get them fiber so they have access to internet even when the power goes down. It's expensive because they have to go under the railroad, and so there's some additional fees there. But this would provide life-saving access to power and internet for those at receiving services at Blue Water Hospice.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Moving to 7C, Commissioner McConnell, District 1, American Rescue Plan Project, Mussey Township Broadband Study and Defibrillator.
Motion to send to full board?
Support.
Discussion, if you got anything, Greg, or?
No, it's pretty cut and dry.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7D, Commissioner McConnell, District 1, American Rescue Plan, Lynn Township Generator and Culverts.
Motion to send to full board.
Support.
Any discussion?
Well, they just put a generator in so that if they're without power, they can still have a warming station and a place where people can come and charge phones or,
Yeah, Riley
an
did
oxygen
that with their
machine.
funds earlier.
yeah.
Just surprises me that, I'd hate to say this, that they don't have a generator. You would think that would be one of the first things at a township level, but you always talk to me about how little bit of money that these places have, and I mean, your place of doing business and all that stuff, and
I think Lynn may very well be the lowest budget in the county for a township.
They're the lowest,
They're under
Yeah,
300,000, aren't they?
yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7E, Commissioner Dunn, District 4, American Rescue Plan Project, Visiting Nurse Association and Blue Water Hospice.
I'd move this to be sent to the full board.
Support?
Any discussion?
Yeah, it's just medical equipment at the Marysville Hospice Home. The stuff they have is quite outdated. Commissioner Beeden and I actually went for a tour there one day last week, and they showed us around and showed us some of their needs and their wish list items, and we kind of went through everything, and these are the things I kind of came up and agreed with them to help them out for the next couple of years, so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7F, 2022 General Fund Budget Amendments.
I'd move this to be sent to the full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7G, Resolution 2231, ratifying collective bargaining agreement, Professional Nurse Supervisors Association, MNA Unit 2, and this is for final action.
I'd move this to be approved for final action.
Support.
Any discussion? Do we need a roll call on this?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7H, Resolution 22-32, ratifying collective bargaining agreement, St. Clair County Juvenile Counselors Association, TPOAM, and this is also for final action.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7I, Medicare Advantage Renewal 2023 and 2024.
Make a motion. Send it to full board.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. The two additional items, 7J, Resolution 22-33, ratifying collective bargaining agreement, St. Clair County Probate Clerical Employees Union, TPOAM, and this is for final action.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Finally, 7K, Resolution 22-34, ratifying collective bargaining agreement, St. Clair County Circuit Court Family Supervisors, Probate Employees, and Public Guardian Employees Association, and this is for final action.
Move to send to full board.
This
Or
final
That's
action.
final.
Move for final action.
Support.
Is that a test?
Well.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. At this time, we'll move to number 8. Are there any other Ways and Means Matters?
Dave, just something I wanted to address here, and I know Steve sent that information. I know some of you got an opportunity to see it. The county received roughly 31 million, correct me if I'm wrong, Carrie, give or take. I think so far we have spent maybe 3.5 million to each commission, to the commission districts, 2.5 million for employee retention, so on and so forth. I think another 1.5 million internal stuff.
Yeah, approximately that much has been committed. It has not all physically been spent yet.
So we are still sitting on a substantial amount of money. And, you know, a lot of the people, what are they spending on? What are they, we haven't really, you know, looked at it. We kind of, you know, started the 26-mile road study to take a look at some perhaps infrastructure needs. But we really haven't committed yet. We're out in a fact-finding, I guess, situation right now, which some cities, to be quite honest, just went and got it in their hand and couldn't spend it quick enough. The county has not done that. So I think, you know, as far as being strategic, looking at different needs, getting the information, then we'll know, we'll have a better idea, and then I think we'll be able to have some of those conversations. But we're still kind of early in the game, I guess. So.
Well, we're going to have a ton of people that are going to be throwing stuff against the wall, that are going to say, you know, you've got this money, we want you to spend it. And we do have the money and we need to spend it. I understand it. If we give it back, somebody else is going to take it and spend it. So we may as well utilize it in our area while it's here. I think that we need to take care of our own home before we go out and start doing other things. So I think it's necessary that we make sure that we go within all our departments and see what we feel is necessary. I think it would be a good idea to have some type of a committee at some point. I think we're maybe a little early still on that, but I think it's a good idea. I know Carrie has been doing that already with department heads, and they've had meetings, and there's a lot of things that are going on. So, and then the information gets brought to us. So, you know, how it ends up, we need to have some type of a system in place instead of everything just coming here for final action. I think there needs to be some inclusiveness with a smaller group to get things rolling. So I don't know how that would look or when that needs to be done, but I think it would be a good idea.
I've always taken, even from early on, you know, we talked about infrastructure. I received a phone call yesterday from the head of economic development for DTE Energy looking for a site for a $4 billion, and I mean $4 billion plant they want to locate, and we have nowhere to put it. Time and time and time again, we're not even in the game. So I'm always been, man, if we have this money, can this be transformational types of things that, can we use that money to leverage that money for, opportunity? County's the only one that can do the heavy lift. If we're gonna put water, sewer, we're gonna put any infrastructure in, if the county doesn't do it, it ain't gonna happen in the next 100 years, period, right? We all know that. So when we start looking at these opportunities and we're not even in the game, that pains me. I'm just like, $4 billion, And we're talking 200-acre site stuff. We're not talking, 1,200 acres. I get it. We're not going to play in the mega site game as you see that they're talking about these mega sites. But some of these other, 200 acres, I can think of a few places we can scrub a couple hundred acres together. But you need to have the water, sewer, and it's got to be ready to go. So we will find out more, via through the 26. There's a couple other areas that we're looking at, but I think us being patient, do it. And, okay, it's kind of, it's the world that, it's all the stuff that I'm seeing from the economic development front.
When does the money have to be spent?
So the funds have to be spent or committed by December 31st, 2024. So if the county does decide to do a large infrastructure water sewer project, those funds have to be committed by 2024 and with final dollars and final reporting at the end of 2026.
Thank you.
One of the things too, just so when we talk about spending the money, there's mechanisms in place that you can do tax capture. I'm not being a proponent that we just go blow 25 million bucks and we don't have any opportunity in getting our money back. There's different mechanisms that the state allows you to put in place to recoup your money. I was always of the mindset, if we're going to put this money out, let's try to turn it into almost a revolving fund type of situation where the money goes out and as the industry comes, we're able to replenish those funds, and so it has a long-term, so we're not one and done. Because the chances of us seeing a pot of money like this ever again is probably like slim to none.
Let's hope not.
Let's hope, yeah.
For our grandchildren's sake, let's hope we don't deal with this again.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because they're really broke now. But I think what Jeff said is perfect, and I hate to use the word brownfield concept, how they loan it out and then bring it back through tax capture for development in other areas of the county, it would be a great program. I hope we can put it together.
Yeah.
Other than 26 Mile Road, and I'm not aware of any place else in the county that will have the necessary power and roads and everything else that would be necessary, access to the expressways. But Dave Struck's here, and I've been going to a few of these meetings. I couldn't make the last Monday. I'll try to make next Monday. But we're looking at a 5-year window minimum. Can that be expedited if the communities want to do that actually on 26 Mile Road? Because I think that's what you're referring to.
Well, yeah, so when you talk about it, I guess we'll know more when the study comes back, what opportunity, what's available. I think if just me talking out loud, I think if we're going to put a substantial investment in there, the private sector is going to jump in the game. They are going to be, it's just natural, right? They're going to be buying properties. They're going to look for the next opportunities, which is what you want. I don't want to deal with 38 different people trying to assemble a large piece of property. I hope one guy owns it, kind of stuff. And I already know there's some assembly going on. Mm-hmm. There's people that are buying land over there, and, the county hasn't even done anything. But when you look at 26 and sitting down, when I spend all the time with Magna, the big part of the different areas that they look at are the proximity to the Macomb County workforce. We don't look good St. Clair County does not look good on paper. When you start talking about numbers of engineers and, all those other things that are necessary to fill these jobs. So you have to, the Macomb County piece of it becomes a very important component to these companies. If you look at SMR, 40% of their people come from outside of St. Clair County. They're engineers and that type of stuff. They were one of our sales pitches for us to help land the Magna, because literally when you look at St. Clair County, those numbers aren't that great, right?
If we're if I could, Jeff, we're seriously going to be looking at these funds to potentially do that somewhere in the county. If 26 Mile is a potential place to do that, can this get done before December 2024, where all the master plans are in place and everybody working together as a unit to get a common goal? Is that realistic to get done? Okay, if it's a realistic goal, we don't have to go into a lot of details because you're moving forward with it and they're having meetings with all the communities. If it's a realistic goal and that's what the communities want to do as a unit, then that's their decision. Do that as a unit, regardless of what Mussey Township wants, what Riley Township wants. But if those communities down there decide they want to do it, they have the right to do that. Okay. Any other Ways and Means matters?
Just a question. Our next meeting, are we 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock?
Still 4 o'clock for the next meeting, and that will be the last one of the 4 o'clock meetings, and then we'll go back to the regular schedule.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
And I don't know if it's my imagination, but the sound sounded a lot better tonight. I don't know if anything was done.
I turned my hearing aids up.
Thank you.
All right, information only. I need a motion to receive and file.
So moved.
I have a second.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. We stand adjourned.